Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? Yes. You are knowing what you are wanting? You are knowing what you are wanting? Yes. Louder doesn't help. Well, you always know more clearly what you do want when you're focused a little bit in the direction of what you don't want. So isn't what you don't want helpful in knowing what you do want? Isn't this focusing process a wonderful thing? And would it be correct or even a good idea to be hard on yourself when you are feeling a red flag or when you're focused upon something unwanted? Or is it wiser to recognize that it's all part of the focusing process and just enjoy the focus that comes about as a result of your exposure to life? Of course, when you decide to become a deliberate creator, then you lean more and more in the direction of what you are wanting. But it doesn't mean that you run from unwanted. You just get it in its proper perspective. You just stop embracing it or obsessing over it. You let what you don't want really help you in the step one process, which is defining what you want. But beyond that, if you don't use what you don't want as a means of justifying what you do want, in other words, sometimes because you don't really feel like you deserve what you do want, you really push hard against what you don't want to get someone else to agree with you that you deserve what you do want. In other words, as you explain how hard something is or how unfair it is or how long it's been going on, that justification for some other thing that you desire, that defending or rationalization, what it does is it causes you to practice the vibration of unwanted. And you know what's interesting? The more you practice the vibration of what's unwanted, the more unwanted comes, and the more you feel like you need to talk about why you don't want it. It's sort of a cycle of attraction. Law of attraction says, well, if you don't like that, maybe you won't like this too. How about this? Here's some more of what you don't like. Here's some more. Are you getting clearer? Is the problem coming into focus for you? That's really what law of attraction is assisting you in doing. Law of attraction is assisting the problem to come into focus. And the benefit to all of you is that when the problem is coming into focus, the solution is coming into focus too. So when a solution is coming into focus, what you want is shaping up. It's in the process of becoming. In fact, vibrationally speaking, it has already become. When you know what you don't want, you emit a rocket of desire of what you do want. And your inner being focuses upon what you do want, because your inner being, unlike the way you often are, not always but often, your inner being never for a moment defends or justifies or rationalizes why you want what you want. Whether you are a genius creative human or a one-celled organism, when life helps you to prefer something, the source within you knows that that preference was born out of exposure to life experience, and it's valid. And the evolution of all species happens in just that way. So by knowing what is unwanted and therefore knowing what is wanted, you are carving out a vibrational path for future experiences. Now, it's not future experience in terms of vibration. In other words, you send a rocket to what we are calling your vortex of creation, where it is managed by law of attraction, and all cooperative components are being assembled even as you are still pushing against what you don't want. When you know what you do want, the cooperative components, the solutions to problems, the answers to questions, they're all gathered. The question that you want to ask yourself, and we want to help you answer in the hours that we are together here today, is where are you in relationship to the solution? And we just want you to know, if you're really deep, hip deep, knee deep, eyeball deep in the problem. You are far, vibrationally speaking, from the solution. And the reason you feel negative emotion, the reason the problem worries you or frightens you or angers you, the reason you feel fear or worry or anger or any negative emotion is because there is a vibrational variance between the solution, which equals who you really are, and the problem, which helps you to define more clearly who you really are. You see how it works? Doctors, as they are looking at you, can see the energy in the sense that they say, well, you're alive, or they see the absence of it in your physical vessel when they say, well, you are dead or not alive. But they don't understand that there is a projection and a receiving of a vibration. You could call it consciousness. You could call it source, that is coming to you and through you all day, every day. It's the whole of you. It's the eternal part of you. It's the part of you that was broadcasting even before you were born into this body. It's the part of you that eternally is broadcasting a signal, meaning thinking thoughts, having consciousness, having knowingness, having beingness. In other words, you are an eternally broadcasting being. In other words, you think you want to find your dream house, or you think you need to find financial balance, or you think you need to find the perfect mate, or you think you need to find the improved bodily condition. And you think that once you find it, you will feel better. And we don't disagree that good feeling things are good feeling. Good feeling things feel good. We get that you want good feeling things. But if you are dependent upon something to present itself to you in a way that causes you to feel good, then you are missing the point of deliberate creation, and you're not in control of the relationship between you and you. And that's why we want to point your attention toward what we are calling the manifestation of emotion. We were visiting with a woman one day. If you've been listening to us for a while, you can move your lips as we tell this story, because we know you've heard it again and again. But it is the most important story that we ever tell relative to anything that matters to you. Woman said, I'm in pain, my body hurts. How can I think positive thoughts when my body hurts? She makes a good point, doesn't she? You mostly take your body everywhere you go. So how you feel in your body is a big part of your awareness. My body hurts, Abraham. How can I feel positive emotion when my body hurts? And we said, you have to separate the emotion from what you are calling the manifestation of your body. Now today, if we were speaking to her, we would say, you have to separate the manifestation of emotion from the manifestation of the arthritis in your hip. Because the manifestation of emotion is something that you can control right now. You can change it right now. The manifestation of your physical condition will be coming along afterward. But we explained to her that if she is willing to prolong her emotional manifestation of despair, then she's prolonging her manifestation of physical discomfort. We said to her, if you can find the manifestation, we weren't using those words then, the manifestation of hope. The vibrational difference between fear and hope is the difference between recovery or not. It's the difference between recovery. You can't let what is be the reason that you feel the way you feel. You have to decide to feel the way you feel because you intend to feel the way you feel, because you're wise enough to separate the physical reality from the emotional manifestation. And if we can make that point to you, and you can hear it in a way that you are determined to move forward from this day, having control of your emotional manifestation, because you can right here, right now. So, if you've been listening to us for a while, you have seen us stand on our head in all kinds of different ways, presenting to you process after process to help you first be aware that you are a vibrational being, and next to help you improve your vibrational stance. Today, we're going to talk to you from inside the vortex, pulling out all the stops, calling you toward who you really are, by helping you to understand that this law of attraction, who really is your friend, has amassed all kinds of wonderful things for you. And in any moment of time, if you don't feel good, it's not because you're not worthy, and it's not because you haven't asked, And it's not because what you've asked for has not been answered. It's because you've been practicing a vibration that is a deviation from what you are asking for. We've noticed, as we've given you processes, that sometimes our processes and others help you to focus yourself more into alignment. But many of you offer so much effort, mostly, and in some cases only, when things aren't going well. In other words, you wait until you're sick before you start intending to be well. You wait until something isn't going well before you focus upon it at all. In other words, it's almost like you've become so problem-oriented that you're sort of stuck in the vibration of the problem much more than you intended when you decided to come forth. Oh, you knew there would be variety. You knew there would be contrast. You knew that the contrast would help you to sharpen your focus. You knew, even if you were a one-celled organism, that this contrast that surrounded you would help you to define new desires, and that the evolution of your species would be about that. You knew all of that. So you came fully understanding contrast and embracing it, because you knew then, the larger part of you still knows, that when a problem comes into focus, the solution does too. We just want to help you get more solution-oriented faster by being more sensitive to your emotions early on, so that you catch those off thoughts, those off memories, those off beliefs, those off vibrations before they get such a foothold that then they really have your attention. It's so much easier to catch them in the early subtle stages than to wait until it is more full-blown in your experience. So toward that end, we're going to make a very striking analogy for you. We really want you to hear this above all things you've ever heard. Did you read Ask and It Is Given? Did you read 22 Processes? This trumps all of them. And here's why. Vibration is everything. So let's say that you are experiencing shortage of dollars, shortage of financial prosperity, or anything really. We're talking about dollars because we have the money and the law of attraction cards here. So you've worried, you've fussed, money is slow and seeming to get slower, and now you're beyond worried, you're fearful. And now you're determined that you're going to do something about it. And you've heard that Abraham, that's us, has written brilliant affirmation cards. It's true. It's true. This is the best combination of words to attract money that has ever been put together in human experience. We are very proud of these cards. So you're standing outside your vortex, worried, and determined to do something about it. So you pick up these brilliant cards and you look for empowerment within them. So you look through them and look through them. My life is as good as I allow it to be. I am always receiving the essence of what I am giving. You got to be kidding. I can follow the trails of good feeling thoughts. I can follow the trail of good feeling money, but I don't know about it. The story I tell is the basis of my life. I'm in deep doo-doo. I am the creator of my own life experience. These are not helpful cards. I can see my world through the eyes of Source. I would like to punch out the eyes of Source. I can deliberately choose to feel better now. There's not one good card here. There's not one good card here. Because these cards are a vibrational match to prosperity. These cards are a vibrational match to abundance. These cards are a vibrational match to what you've put into your vortex, what's in your vortex, to the vibrational beingness that you've already created.